Welcome back to Bones, Bourbon, Barley, and Brass. We're a lifestyle channel where we discuss interesting things. We have another bourbon episode for you today. This one is Bondstone Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey Toasted Barrel. And before we get into the details, I want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Toro Land and Ranch Company, www.torolandranch.com. They are an e-commerce platform with vacant land, livestock, working dogs, and soon-to-be apparel and goods. That's Toro Land and Ranch Company, www.torolandranch.com. Thanks to them for this video. As we get into the details, obviously this is distilled in Kentucky. It's 90 proof, so 45% ABV. And it says in the bottle, Bondstone Toasted Barrel Bourbon exemplifies craftsmanship and whiskey excellence in the heart of Kentucky. This distinguished high rye bourbon is matured in new toasted, charred American oak barrels to enhance its flavor profile and hue. The additional toasting process intensifies the taste, imparting notes of warm baking spice, luscious caramel, and rich toasted oak. Delight in the complex layers of masterful creation in each sip, as this high rye Bondstone Toasted Barrel Bourbon elevates bourbon tradition to deliver an extraordinary flavor journey. It says aged a minimum 4 years, distilled in Kentucky, bottled by Kentucky Whiskey Bottling, Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Now, one thing I will say, when you do a little bit of Google and internet research, it looks like the producer's by the name of IJW. And when you try to go to their website, it simply says, coming soon, which is interesting. This was found by a good friend of mine. He got me this for my 40th birthday. It can be found in Total Wine. MSRP on this bottle is about $44.99. So, as I look on tastings.com, it says the style is spicy, complex. Aroma is brown butter, sesame candies, coffee cake, and baked peaches. Same as aromas with accents of cinnamon toast, spice peach, sesame, black pepper, and salt on lavender candies. Smoothness is tingling. Enjoy in cocktails, neat. That's how I like it. On the rocks, with cigars and with drops of water. Cocktails, Sazerac, Old Fashioned, Manhattan. Classic after dinner bourbon, loaded with baked fruits, cinnamon flavors, well balanced for its slightly elevated alcohol content. Interesting. Obviously, I've had this before, but let's give it a appropriate pour and assess. As I pour this, I'll give a shout out to an interesting channel. There's two gentlemen who, one of them's moved. I think they were both out of Wichita, but they run the YouTube channel Scotch Test Dummies. And let me tell you, they are a bunch of interesting characters. Check them out. I love their work. Mostly they're Scotch-centric, which we'll get into Scotch as well as the channel goes on. But they do taste bourbon as well. So shout out to them, the Scotch Test Dummies. All right, let's take a look. Typical bourbon color, as you can see. Give it a little swish. Yep, smells like bourbon. Brown butter is mostly what I get. I don't get anything overly interesting. That's not to say that this is a bad bourbon, but I don't get any unique flavors is what I should say, or unique scents. Let's do a taste. I see the cinnamon. Feel like I also read a review. This had a peanut, a peanut taste to it. Yeah, I see a little right at the end. There's like, it's almost like when you go to crack roasted peanuts and you get there's the shell, but then there's the husk in the middle. It's almost like you get a peanut with the husk, the roasted husk still on it. Yeah, I'm really for whatever reason this evening, and I don't know if my palate is off or what. I'm tasting less of the peanut than I usually do. That's what I was expecting. Um, and I kind of put this in the same vein as Weller a little bit as far as taste, but again, that's just my palate. Um, yeah, cinnamon, which is odd because I haven't tasted the cinnamon before. It's kind of funny. Um, if I had to rate this, I would rate this 8.5 out of 10. Um, it is a very solid, approachable bourbon. I think it's appropriately priced. Um, in fact, I mean, I got this bottle in October and we're already this much through. Um, Now, we did open it when said friends were over and we shared a little to try. Um, but I ended up buying a second bottle because I was like, oh shit, what if I run out? So we do have a second bottle of this on reserve. Um, yeah, it's good. Um, I do owe you all more bourbon content. I know we have a measly 2 videos up. This will be video number 3. Um, my wife and I did make espresso martinis this evening with bourbon. Would have loved to show those, but sometimes you just need to touch grass and live life offline a little bit. So, very enjoyable experience on those as well, and maybe we'll do a recipe at a later date. Um, yeah, again, would highly recommend. Drop a comment in the comment box down below if you've had this and what your thoughts and opinions are on this. Go ahead and like and subscribe to our channel. And if you have any bourbon requests or bourbon review opinions that you'd like me to solicit, certainly would love to get some recommendations of some things to try and review. I will say this. I was counting just simply bourbon bottles the other day, and there's a lot of content I could produce, let's put it that way. So we'll be around for a while, producing content and reviews. And again, if you have questions or suggestions, would love to hear them. Cheers.